Hello, hi everyone, hi America. What's going on? Today is May the 14th. It's Mother's Day today. Happy Mother's Day, everyone. All you moms out there. My name is Michael Tomlinson. I am an American tutor. Uh, I haven't stepped outside. I have to do some stuff today, and I'm feeling a little extra lazy for some reason. So I'm not sure. I gotta go out and do something. I'm just gonna kick back, or I just may just kick back and decide to put things off until tomorrow. I don't know yet. I'm still going back and forth. Knowing me, I'm gonna end up doing something because that's just how I roll. I just can't even stop myself. Even if I wanted to stop myself, I just can't really prevent myself from wanting to move forward. And even if it is a Sunday and it's Mother's Day, and I love moms, the past, the future, the present, and I've had my experiences, I guess I should say, and not such a great way, with my mom, unfortunately. Um, and so, me calling my mom and saying Happy Mother's Day and all that kind of stuff is is it's the right thing to do. It's what I should be doing. It's like all moms should be acknowledged with some kind of love. And but for some reason, somehow the the past gets kind of brought into the subject, into our conversations, and I start having weird issues, like problems, because it's the things that my family's done to me in the past. They don't even acknowledge it. They don't care to be accountable or responsible or anything like that. Everyone's just sidestepped it all, and it frustrates me. So I have to let her know that I remember and I don't appreciate it. The things that were how I was treated, disregarded. And even though I've built my own life and became my own person in my own way, I still did not like the fact that my family had black sheep me and treated me like an outsider. And at that same time turn around and still blame me and saying, well, he's not around. And the reason I wasn't around is because they pushed me out of their life. So and it was just not a justification of like, well, I don't know what to do. And it's like, because you already created the damage. So it's I don't know if you have to go through the same thing. Most people don't have to deal with that, with their moms and dads and stuff like that. I unfortunately do. And I have to face the truth, and that is the truth. And and my family and my mom, they got to be reminded that I know the truth. And as much as we don't like to talk about it, I do have to talk about it because this all happened to me. They didn't happen to them. They were not starving kids. I was a starving kid. Um, so it all kind of comes out. I love my mom. I let her. I apologize. I hated bringing up the past, but it's still relevant in some way because I felt like it's been ignored and set aside. And I don't appreciate that. I didn't appreciate what was going on then. And now I don't appreciate how people are handling it now. No one, everyone's just I'm still the blame. It's still all my fault. And that's how things turn around. Like, with people and twisting things around. It's another good example. It just happened a couple of years back where this guy, and he would come to my studio. We hang out and we talk, and he had a way of talking about himself. I could tell he's really into himself, like, and trying to give me tidbits on what real men do and how they sit down and how they act and the hierarchy of life. Stuff that I just, I'm like, why do you talk like that? And it was all just to feed his ego, because he just had something about me, that he kept trying to I felt like he trying to, let me know, that maybe he's more of a man than I am. I don't, and I think that was his point. So anyways, after a while, he was hanging out in my studio with me, and it was a short visit. He was getting ready to leave. And I said, hey man, we got to talk. And I was going to talk about all that stuff I just talked about. Just ready to have a person-to-person, man-to-man talk about what's going on, what's really going on. Not this, like hierarchy kind of thing, but, what gives, kind of thing. Like, that's the kind of talk I wanted to have. Like, who do you think, or who do I think I am to, to do that or to say things like that. And so anyways, that morning, I think it was in the morning, I said, yeah, we need to talk. He was like, and he kind of, got a little, I could tell he got a little nervous. He's like, okay. And then he goes, well, I don't have time right now. We'll talk later, okay? And I was like, okay. It wasn't that kind of thing, and and then I never saw him again. That was that kind of thing. He never came back around, never contacted me, never talked to me ever again. Now, he really hasn't talked to me since then. Since I said, we need to have a talk. And that's all I said. And I'm sure he knew what we were going to talk about and why I brought it up. That he knew that he was already in the wrong. He was already guilty, and he didn't want to deal with that. And I don't think he expected me just to come out and say something either. I think he expects me just to be like, oh, okay, sure, whatever you think, hell no, I'm not going to do that. I mean, I let him express himself so many times, and I listened. And then I decided that enough was enough, and it was time to have a talk about what was really going on. And then I never saw him again. But a month after that, I saw a mutual friend, and the person actually introduced me to him. It was like, that kind of mutual friend. And I asked him, I said, hey, have you seen such and such around? He said, yeah, I still see him, I still talk to him. And then he just flat out told me, he thinks you're a jerk. Or he used a worse word than jerk. He just thinks I'm an a-hole, And I was like, oh, wow. That's, he thinks I'm a jerk. What? But I didn't even respond that way. I just heard him say that. And my brain just kind of thought like, wow, man, that's kind of lame that he would not have that talk with me, but then instantly turn around and talk to our mutual friend about me, and tear down, and start to slander me and put me down so that this other person wouldn't find out the truth. They come to find out that person didn't even want to know the truth either. He was on board with that other guy, and it was all a big lie. That people just manifest on their own. So they can't face, and confront their own existence. It's just too much to think about, too much to handle. And especially if people are in the wrong and they know they are. Why would they want to have that talk? Because they're probably going to be confronted and called out, and they have to answer questions they don't want to answer. So, what was sad about that conversation with my friend when he told me that, and then I was like, oh wow, okay. But after after he said that, that friend never asked me. He's like, so what's up? What happened? What's going on with that? So I would tell him my side of the story, right? He just said that, and I just heard him say it, and that was the end of that conversation. Unless he was about to ask me for the truth. Because I wasn't going to I'm not the kind of guy just going to volunteer and start talking about people unless someone asks me to tell them the truth. Most of the people can't even handle the truth anyways. So that's probably why I just don't throw it out there. Or I didn't get mad or upset and say, well, this is what I said and this is what's happening. Even though I could have. I didn't do it that way. I just didn't handle it that way. I just, and disappointment again, of how we treat each other in America. We just hear somebody say something about someone that's bad, and then just take it as a truth. And it's a big lie, but we'll still accept it as a truth. And never really ask the other side what their side is. So we don't have to really know the full truth. We just have to know one side and agree with that, and that's done with. And which cheats me, because that's, people will do that to me all the time. They'll do something and turn right around and then blame me for sometimes I have no actions at all, but they'll still want to blame me for something. It's all just a pure hate thing. It's an evil thing. I don't know why I'm talking about this. This is like Mother's Day, but sorry. I'm not trying to put a downer on today. Today is a good day. I'm just sharing as part of my testimony of dealing with folks in the past, past, and in the recent past too, of how that still manifests itself into my life. I can't avoid it. I've always tried to avoid it throughout my whole life, but I keep being repeatedly attacked and slandered or put down, or people just flat out make up lies, and there's no truth in anything because no one really asked me for the truth. No one really asked me anything, so they must just believe in a one-sided perspective. It's usually a hate perspective of, watch out. We hate them. We don't like them. We can't trust them. It's bad things. And it's like, because I don't do any of those things at all. I'm a good person. I'm a good man. I'm a straight shooter. And maybe that's what bugs people. They just can't handle or deal with me. And so they become jealous or envious, and then they want to attack me with trivial things or made up stuff. It's beyond me. I just know it does affect me though. Even though I can accept it, it does affect me in some freaky way, like that friendship thing. And ever since then, the guy's never asked me for my side of the story or the truth or anything like that. Rather than just believe that there's only one side to the story. There's really two maybe even 3, 4 sides to some stories. Um, so I I just have to make the best of it. And I encourage you, if this is what you have to go through too, man, I can, I relate. We relate to each other. If this is the stuff that you have to, what I'm talking about, you have to deal with it too. Is it's not as easy as people think it is. It's a tough thing, and you have to become really good at getting over things fast, because it can bring you down. And so, that's why I have to let go of that stuff fast, because I can't let that stuff, that negativity, go into my life and affect me. I just can't allow it. I just cannot allow it, and nor do I can retaliate in any way either, unless I'm asked for the truth. Someone were to ask me, just ask, then I will tell them. But if they expect me just to step up and volunteer and start to put down a mutual friend or talk poorly about a mutual friend, just out of, to them, I don't know where they're coming from. They have to ask me. They have to ask that question. And if you cannot ask that question, or if you don't have the courage, or you're not brave enough, or you just don't want to know, then that's your business. But you should want to know. Especially if it affects the way you feel towards someone else. You should definitely ask. I don't know. I'm just going to leave it there. I think I'm starting to just vent now. And I didn't make this video to vent. I wanted to talk about, love and unity in America, being an American cheer, which is what I'm going to wrap it up with, is that being an American cheer can be tough for us individuals, but as a family, it can be easier. It can be, we can move stronger and faster and better if we're one unit, if we're one family, and not divided. A divided family, divided friends. That's seems like there's enough of that going around already. There's not enough of unity and trying to unite Americans. That's the where we all should be, anyways. We should always be walking in the glory of love and uniting Americans. It's the future. That's the real future. That's the real change. That's the real deal. So it's not just a thing. And so don't get scared of change. Don't be frightened of it. Don't be fearful of it. There's nothing to be fearful of. We don't fear that kind of stuff. We're American tears. Fear is for people that want to look at things in a fearful way, or project things in a fearful way. And we know better. Fear does not get us anywhere. Being cautious does. Understanding what the fear factor does. So we need to always know what that is and where it's coming from. But that does not distract or dictate anything. It's just an analytical part of working on solutions. It's just hard to, you have to kind of look at everything at one time to work on real solutions. And that's the American cheer way. That's how we're going to do it. Yes. All righty. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for hearing me out. I know Jay was a little off the wall, but have a wonderful day. Have a great day. Enjoy being with your moms, and have lots of smiles, lots of hugs, lots of gifts, and whatever you guys do. Just have fun. Thanks again. Peace, love. We'll talk later.